The Addermeyer Institute is my best chance of tracking down the Crown Killer. Alexandria Hypatia turned an old solarium into a center for medicinal knowledge that's famous throughout the Isles. She's an alchemist, brilliant and dedicated to helping the miners in Karnaka and their families. If anyone knows what happened to Sokolov and where this all leads, she will.
Welcome to Addermeyer Institute. In many ways, this feels like the most straightforward level of all of them. You go to an island, it's a big giant mansion sort of thing, and there's lots of guards sneaking around and you gotta take them all out. So obviously, the first decision you make when you play Ghost is, do you avoid or do you knock them out? In many ways it's cooler and feels more stylish to avoid them, but it is usually easier to just knock them out. At least if you plan on finding lots of everything. If you were speedrunning the game or something like that, you definitely want to just bypass them all via just blinking and going the right way immediately and just trying to avoid them. But if in the process you're trying to find as many things as possible, and you're also sort of preferring to go for Ghost or Shadow or Clean Hands or that sort of thing, knocking them all out and then just like taking them to a place where they're safe feels much simpler. The first bone charm we picked up there wasn't a particularly good one. I'm still holding out for a couple of the ones I mentioned last time before I start working on possibly bone crafting. Immediately as we get here, there's this little fountain. We turn the wheel, it increases the water level. If I had possession here, I could possess one of the fish and swim right through that one and get inside that way. I have another plan though. Straight through the front door.
Should we check it out?
Nah, I'm just making sure it's still in order, I guess. Nobody comes around anymore, but you never know when the Duke's gonna send someone out here to check on things. It's odd, but he keeps an eye on Addermeyer.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on here. After last night, I'm sure of that. I saw something. Whatever I saw, it didn't move like a person.
Before I got transferred to Addermeyer, I saw one of the Crown Killer crime scenes. Whoever tore that old couple apart, they were enjoying it.
So what do you think then?
I don't know. Coming back at dawn, smudges of blood on the windows. I don't know what to think. Maybe the Duke found some new bear or ape from Pandysia. Keeps me up at night just thinking about it.
So this level we finally get face to face with the Crown Killer. This soldier will be our first victim. I say victim, I'm really just putting him to sleep, giving him a bit of a nice place to have a nap. There's a few guards in this area over here in the beginning, but after they finish the conversation they sort of go their separate way, making it a lot easier. And then there's the main room, which we will enter soon enough. I think I mentioned this before, but one of my favorite additions in Dishonored 2 as opposed to Dishonored 1 is the non-lethal drop assassinations. They look cool, they feel cool, and they're very useful.
So bad. I haven't seen that kid in 2 years.
It would only take a few hours for Dr. Hypatia to see them. My 7-year-old broke her leg carrying water down to the miners. And my 3-year-old has been coughing dust for weeks. His skin is so pale. He's gray. I could bring them here.
I am very sorry, but there's nothing I can do. Dr. Hypatia doesn't accept patients anymore, and the Institute is under the Grand Guard Authority. Apparently, you can't be trusted to do your job without creating problems.
Please, I can't lose another child. Where is Dr. Hypatia?
Lock her up until further notice.
What? No! My children need need me! Let me go!
The whale oil tank's already empty. Keep my mind on my duties.
My job to clean
Forget
up.
about that kiss.
Let's see. What was it?
That kiss.
If I'd taken the whale oil from the tank a little bit quicker there, they wouldn't actually have time to knock her out. And they would have sort of gone different ways.
Wait here.
They all get real panicky now that they see the wall of light not working.
Anything suspicious?
But as long as they don't see me, we're still cool. There's a fair chunk of sleep darts on this level, so, you know, might as well go ahead and use them.
I wonder who that was.
Sorry, buddy. You can finish that letter some other time.
Imagine that. No, I'm sure.
So what happens a lot when you play Ghost like this is that you end up having these little areas where you keep putting all your bodies. We're gonna make a couple of these body piles as we play. That almost went very badly, but hey, it worked out. Number 2 for this pile here. I'm always a little bit nervous when stuff like that happens, because sometimes when a body's unconscious, any sort of thing that falls on it could knock him out and kill him. And obviously we want to try to do this non-lethal, so... Now pretty much the lobby's been sorted out. There's one guard still on the outside here we can deal with. Spiritual Sacrifice is not half bad. Bone Charm, it gives us back some mana when we kill bloodflies. But so far, most of the spells and abilities and powers, I suppose we can call them, we're using are the type that recharges mana. I mentioned this before. Inevitably, once we start using some of the more fancy stuff like Possession or Bend or Stop Time or that sort of thing, they will no longer start to recharge, and then we can finally start to drink all the Adamire solutions we have been picking up. There are a fair bit of stuff to find and pick up in this mission. Like this.
Duke of Serkonos.
What I tend to do in places like this is I want to sort of deal with the main things I want to deal with first, such as clearing the place out and doing whatever objective I'm doing, and then take the time afterwards to go hunt down everything. These sleep darts I don't pick up yet because I know there's 2 of them. If I were to pick them all up now, I'd only get 1. If I pick them up later on, when I only have 3 or 2 or 1, I get the full 2 of them. But like I said, there are plenty in this map, so we don't need to worry that much. Another thing there's plenty of, which might be obvious, is the Adamire solution. It is made here by Dr. Hypatia, so there's a lot of mana potions here. This guy's coming down the elevator. The blood flies here, making the noise next to me. The buzzing in my head. Get annoying. But you could just leave them there, or you can try to break them free, especially when a guard is walking nearby. That's can be pretty fun, but yeah, non-lethal, ghost, that type of thing. We're playing it calm and safe. The dinner room can be a bit tricky. There's a lot of guards here sort of in the same area, almost all walking and watching the same way.
Settle down, stomach. Dinner will be in you shortly.
The main reason you come here is for a rune. You might have seen it there hanging on the wall. But they're all sort of nearby, so it's hard to sort of get there in any sort of stealthy way. There it is. And there they are.
What should we do with the leftovers?
but I'm not allowed to go to the kennels anymore.
Let's feed the rats.
Don't be like that. Times are hard enough without you getting bitter.
When Addermeyer was open to the public, I was proud of work. Cooking for the sick, discussing recipes with Dr. Hyphen. Now I'm here.
But as bad as things have gotten, it'd all be worse without a job.
There's still a few people working here, making food for the guards mostly. I'm gonna take him out just because it's easier that way. They didn't really deserve it, but it's just a nap. Let's put them here in the storage room. The civilians can see you without it counting as you being seen by an enemy. Unless they see you carrying a body or something. Then it does count as you've been seen by an enemy because they try to run towards the guards and tell them you're there. That's sort of why it's easier just to take him out. As expected, there's a lot of food in the kitchen. But nothing particularly more interesting. Now for the dinner room. The dining hall. We're gonna try to take him out one by one, as is the easiest way.
Some kids thinks around here. It's not my job to clean up. He says keep alert, and I says I am alert. I've been alert.
This one was a little bit risky. The guy is almost looking at me. You see, if he turned like a second too early, it would have been too late. But we got him. After looking for a place to put him, I figure, why not put him near the body pile? The place is growing. The loudspeakers are particularly loud in Addermeyer. As I mentioned, the audio bug prevents me from actually hearing what it's supposed to say, which is a little bit annoying. I hope it's gonna get fixed soon. There's a patch coming out in a few days. Hopefully that fixes the bug.
I just gotta watch my own back.
The best way of dealing with these guys is distractions, as always. You can distract by multiple ways. The louder the sound you go, the more people come to get there. The best thing I've found is throwing glass. If it's just a simple piece of glass being thrown, nothing like major sounding like you slashing up a cupboard or whatever with your sword. If it's just a piece of glass, then usually they only send one guy over. Clearly something mysterious going on here. They tend to go like, wait here, I'll go find it, or something like that. So we're gonna do exactly that by throwing the glass over there.
What
was that?
nothing, but I'll be right back.
Did you hear that?
What's going on here?
Wait, I'll have a look over there.
Yell if you find anything suspicious.
So you get the one guy over there.
So, let's see. What was it?
Wait until he's turned over and we can get him turned around, rather. And then you pretty much just have to repeat it. The guards are not smart enough to figure out that one guy is missing and the same glass sound keeps happening over and over. 3 for the pile. Another whiskey glass?
What was that?
Wait here. Just checking something.
This one is almost a catastrophe. He gets halfway through that little lightning indicator to showing that he sees me, but I'm quick enough in grabbing before he gets to actually properly go on alert, so yeah. That's 4 for the pile. At this point, the dining hall has thinned considerably in the amount of people here. That noise that keeps playing from the kitchen.
Shipment of whale oil tanks just gone, taken right from under their noses. Idiots.
I tried to find what it was, but it's just the food, I think.
As wee as a minnow. He tugged on it nightly, and ever so slightly, it grew to be large as a narwhal.
Again, trying to grab her when she's sitting turns out to be annoying, but back here we can do it. The back on the chair is shorter than it was in the Overseer outpost in Karnaca.
Chasing monsters in the brine, dancing hagfish on the line. Martha, won't you marry me? 12 weeks have I been at sea.
The singer over there is the last one in the room we need to deal with. 5 in the pile. I swear to God, that noise. And now we just walk right up on him. If you try to grab him in the beginning, they all see you and they all chase after you, and it's unpleasant. This room is thoroughly uninteresting. Except for a map, which you can find elsewhere. Number 6 on the pile. And we can actually take time to check out the room. This way is another entrance you could have done if you don't want to go through the front door. You sort of go around the side and jump in through this little window thing. It's also a lot more glass if you want to use more distractions. You might notice a lot of these small little vents, I guess you can call them, throughout most of the area, and pretty much every area it's there to make you be able to possess a rat and sneak through to the type of things. Here's where the sound of this from. I guess it's just the soup or whatever. Boiling, cooking, puttering. And the lockers are empty and boring. I saved most of my exploration for later on.
That's the watchtower.
Once we've sorted out the Crown Killer, we need to go to the watchtower and make sure that Megan can actually show up. It's like the second part of the mission, which is usually pretty quickly handled. But the first floor is mostly handled with right now. There's a little bit to the right, which we're going to avoid for now. There's nothing super exciting there. Mainly a whole bunch of dogs. But what I do want to do is take out this guard. And that's what the sleep darts are for.
I guess Dr. Hypatia's not seeing patients anymore.
There's a note about those dogs. Generally they've been infected and are a little bit aggressive. So they locked them inside that room. There's sort of a special action, I suppose you can call it, that gets noted at the end of a level. If you manage to release the hounds, you can, if you are the more bloody type, release all the hounds and let them go nuts on the guards. Of course they will also go nuts on you, so you might want to play it safe. Instead of going right up the stairs normally, we are going to jump around the backside. It is a fair bit safer. We gotta be quick here because we are actually straight in line of that guy.
What was that?
But they need to see you for a longer period of time before it actually qualifies as you've been seen. Those two dice-playing guards will cause some troubles in the future.
Hypatia never leaves Addermire. Remember that.
Sir, it's just that the other night she went missing, and I still don't see how she got out.
Maybe we're not clear on this, Corporal. In case anyone asks, the good doctor never leaves the grounds unless it's on official business for the Duke. Got it?
I think I understand, sir.
Let me have it. Oh well.
The dice may or may not be going so well for that poor guy. Finally found Hypatia's office, and we find out that she's not there. She's in the recuperation auditorium. But we needed to go here anyway for the key and all the other stuff. Gonna put this guy here, or he's gonna disturb no one. A little bit of coin.
The blackouts are worse, and my dreams have taken a turn towards the disturbing. Even rest eludes me. Duke Abel seemed overprotective at first, but increasingly, I'm a prisoner in my own lab. The soldiers stationed here leave me alone, but even then I feel like I'm being watched. What really saddens me is the loss of my work. I've always thrived on my connection to the people who need me the most. The workers and their families. Each time I hear there's been an outbreak of some fever or some new condition among the miners, it pains me that I am not with them, working to ease their suffering.
Hypatia seems like a very nice person, and she is, sort of.